Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Seif and Spencer Show. I'm your co-host, Spencer, and this is the podcast that shows why we believe what we believe while keeping it as an intriguing discussion.
And I'm your co-host, Seif. And yeah, this podcast is all about new ideas, old ideas, and most importantly, reintroducing some of the truths that society has abandoned.
Yeah, we're going to go from topics like science and philosophy all the way from pop culture. So,
Yeah, exactly. And we want you, our listeners, and our viewers, depending on the platform you choose, to join us on this journey as we explore more and understand furthermore this world that we live in as well as its creator.
yeah, so we're going to be doing interviews from experts, our personal own stories, and then we're going to be doing even theories and dissecting theories. So, nothing's off limits.
Exactly, and as you listen to this, I don't want you to be disencouraged that it's just going to be us talking at you the whole time. This is as far from the truth as possible. In fact, we will have much for you to do, from listener questions to comments to even the occasional live call-in session and live podcast. So you'll have plenty to do.
Yeah, so we're going to have different people on it. We're going to be doing big questions all the way down to everyday curiosities that leave you pondering. So it's going to be everything.
So buckle up, folks, because we're about to go on a crazy journey filled with laughter, new ideas, and most importantly, we will learn how to stand our ground, expand our mind, and even challenge our and your perspective at times. This is the Seif and Spencer Show. We had a little bit about what we're going to be doing here in the podcast and the intro, but essentially the whole first episode is going to be an intro for the rest of the podcast. We will essentially set you guys up with the understanding of what we're going to be doing for the rest of the season, give you a little bit about us, and yeah, just go right through it. So who are we?
Yeah, so I'm Spencer. I'm 17, and that's who I am. I'm going to school right now. I'm planning on studying aerospace engineering in the future at a technical university. So, yeah, that's my background.
Yeah, I'm Seif. I'm about to be 18 this July, so in a little under a month. No, exactly a month. What
Yeah.
is it today? What's the date?
It's the 20-something, 22nd.
It's 22nd, so yeah.
So good at this.
Very close. But yeah, I'll be 18. I just graduated high school. I'm currently going to be a freshman in Saddleback College.
There you go.
But yeah, now that you know a little bit about us, let's just tell you a little bit about why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, so our goal with this podcast is to outreach to people and to just spread ideas, because ideas are this is somebody else said this. I forgot who said this, but ideas are the most practical thing in the world, right? So spreading ideas is an easy way to create thoughts in other people's heads that can subconsciously help to encourage people, right? So we're trying to plant seeds to get other people thinking in better ways about why they believe what they believe.
Exactly, and especially in a country built on free speech,
Totally.
recently there hasn't been that much exchange of ideas between people. It's just been, I think what I think, you think what you think, let's just not talk about it. And this podcast is made exactly for the opposite reason. It's so we can talk about everything that we think, talk about our beliefs, and just have an open platform for all types of people to come in and just tell their stories and tell their thoughts and ideas and explore more this world that we live in.
Yeah, so you guys are going to expect to see different people coming on. We're going to be doing interviews with people, not necessarily where we're debating these people or anything. You might see that, I'm not sure, but you might see people come on. We'll just give them thought-probing questions, I guess. Questions about their beliefs, what are they doing, why they're an expert on this, or experts on certain opinions. We might have topics where we'll have a topic for the day, and we'll have an expert who is very versed on that topic, and that person will come and we'll ask them questions about that topic, instead of having a podcast where we're gonna have somebody, they're gonna share their ideas, and then we're gonna argue them. That might come later on, probably not very soon, but I think it's gonna be topic and expert themed for the first couple episodes.
Exactly. And so, who should you expect to hear about and see during the podcast could be one of the questions that you're asking yourself right now. And we would like to introduce some of those people.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing podcasts with family and friends. So you might see our parents on here. You might see my sister on here, or
closer friends on here.
yeah.
We have a lot of people in our even church community who we've talked to and asked if they would be willing to come on the podcast and share their stories, and many of them have agreed.
Totally.
You'll hear a lot about some of the people who we share in common in our lives. For example, our pastors, our leaders at church, and so you will hear a lot of names that will grow to be familiar to you over time as well. And so that's a little bit about the people that we will be interviewing, who will be interviewing. And so, yeah, there's a lot of interesting people, I have to say, that will be on. We've already talked to a couple people who we ourselves found their stories fascinating. And so we would love to share that with you. And, yeah.
Yeah, so getting into away from other people and into us. So Seif and I actually met about 3-4 years ago we met at youth group at church. We got closer in our relationship doing the creative team together. So we were doing graphic design, video, I guess now audio, branching out in the audio podcast for the youth group. But we shared similar passions in video and cinematography. So we got to know each other just working together, not really even expecting to grow closer and create a lifelong friendship relationship like we have now, but we just grew closer together because naturally we were drawn to each other because similar interests, and we just worked well together. So yeah,
exactly. And it's actually a pretty fun story how we got to meet each other. It was the beginning of COVID, or not really the beginning of COVID. It was like middle of COVID. We were one of the first churches to start doing a service outside, and so we were tasked with setting up AV. At first, I was just like doing it alone, and then we had more students come in and volunteer, and Spencer was one of them, especially when we merged middle school and high school together. Spencer started coming, and so he was put in my team of like setup, and like we would put out the rugs and everything. And yeah, I just got to know him, working with him day after day, and then we got recruited into the creative team. And just to let you know, we are not just two random kids who picked up a camera and a mic and decided to do some stuff. We both have a long experience in video and audio. Personally, I play instruments. I play guitar. I write music, but I've studied video for a long time. I'm a film major currently, and so I've gotten national awards for film. Spencer is a great photographer too.
Yeah, I do. I mostly do photography. I tend to veer away from like film a little bit more than I should, just because I'm not as comfortable with film. I like photography more, but I do a lot of audio with especially stereo type stuff. So not like microphone and computer type audio. I do like car stereos and stuff. That's my wheelhouse. I'm pretty good at that, I like to think. But yeah, that's my experience with that.
Yeah, exactly. And Spencer is pretty much a genius. I mean, that kid went to building competition a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago, and he placed pretty high.
I did all right. It was the international bridge building competition, but I mean, it's my second year going. We did pretty good. I mean, that's my in my engineering background, I guess I tend to be pretty good at that type of stuff too. So like anything technically oriented and like fixing things, or I guess making things work. That's tends to be my wheelhouse.
Yeah. What rank did you place?
I think I placed 32nd on an international scale, so in the USA.
And the year before?
I think I got 27th or something like that. So I was the 27th ranked kid in the United States, and then the 30-something ranked kid in the United States. I don't know. It's not. I want to major in aerospace engineering. That's structural engineering. It's not what I want to do. So I don't keep track of it as much as.
Yeah. He's a big brain, though. But yeah, and we're not just, again, two random high schoolers. Well, I'm not a high school anymore.
Yeah, we're not two random people.
Yeah, we're not two random strangers and teenagers. And we're not ignorant either. We both come from very unique cultures and backgrounds.
Yeah, big time. Seif's from Egypt, so.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Egypt, lived there until I was 13. I went to a German private school there for 10 years. And so I'm fluent in German, I'm fluent in Arabic, and I'm fluent in English. Who knows, maybe you'll see a Arabic episode. But yeah, I've been to Germany, I've been to many places other than the US. I've been to 2 states inside the US, California and Texas. But yeah, we come from very unique backgrounds. I was born as a Christian in Egypt, and if you don't know, Egypt is a mostly Muslim country. So I had to learn to defend my faith from a very early age. I had to answer very tough questions about what I believe and why I believe it, which equips me very well to sit here with some level of understanding and some level of knowledge and speak in front of you and just set an example for even younger people and people my age and even people older.
Right. I love the way that Seif and I were, I guess, brought up in two opposite cultures, but we formed similar opinions, and we can agree on most things that we will both say. And sometimes we'll have arguments about stupid things like the lines in the freeway or something like that, or anything like that. But anything that comes to a major decision and something that's can reach far throughout your life, we can agree on most things like that, which is interesting to me because of the way that we are both brought up in opposite cultures, opposite sides of the world. So that's another cool thing.
Exactly, and I mean, we have many mutual
That's
friends.
the 5th time you said exactly and.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. He's just we're on the same brain, dude. So I have to say exactly. I have to affirm what you say.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we have a lot of mutual friends too who don't even think what we think. They have different standards at times.
Opposite opinions most
Yeah,
of the
they
time.
have opposite opinions.
And I mean, some of them were even raised similar cultures as me. So there'll be people who, let's say, went to the same school as I did for maybe elementary school, middle school, and maybe even high school, and then raised in the same areas and have opposite viewpoints. So it's just interesting how everybody individually has come to formulate their own opinions as they grow older and become more wise in their own experiences. But the crazy part is, if you ask a lot of people why they believe what they believe nowadays, a lot of them will just stare at you. They won't know why. And that's the heart of this podcast. We want people to know why they believe what they believe and have not only their opinions based in factual evidence, but also in logic and reason, so that they can come to formulate an opinion that's strong, that they can defend, and that they can also challenge if they need to.
Yeah. Now, many of you who are watching now already have somewhat of an understanding of what we will probably talk about on the podcast, but what also we believe. We said this word so many times already.
I love the phrase.
And yeah, it's a great phrase because it truly is what the podcast is about. It's what we believe and what the people that we will bring on believe, either if it's the same thing or if it's not. Now, obviously, we are both Christians. We've met at church. So we believe in God. We believe in the entirety of the Bible. Every word of it is true. So that is one of the things that we believe. And so I don't want any of the viewers or listeners to hear that and say, well, since they believe something different than myself, I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to take part of this and just ignore it. Because even if you hate everything that we believe in and that we talk about, first of all, we open the gates for you to come talk to us, connect with us. We can bring you on the podcast, even have a normal conversation about
totally.
everything that you disagree on and everything that you agree on, because no two people disagree on everything. We all live in the same world, guided essentially by the same rules, and most of us can agree on very basic things like murder is bad. I think everyone can agree on that. So no matter how far our beliefs are from yours, there will always be common ground for us to talk about and to debate about. So don't be discouraged, and don't just say, oh, they believe something different, so I'm not going to take part or listen to this. In fact, even if you choose to listen to this so you can take our points and combat them, go for it.
Yeah, we're open to that. Again, we want to know, not necessarily, we're not trying to attract people that have common opinions with us. We're not trying to attract people with opposite opinions of us. We're just trying to attract people. And again, the heart is, why do you believe that? So if you have an opinion on something, why do you believe that opinion? And I love this phrase because it's so common nowadays for people not to know and just to spit out slogans or just something they've heard from somebody else, and now that becomes their opinion. So if you have an opinion and you can challenge and defend your opinion, that is an awesome thing.
Yeah, and I mean, we were watching teaching a couple weeks ago together, or not even a couple weeks ago, probably last week.
Yeah.
And in the teaching, it was a pastor talking, and he was saying, well, most Christians say that we are made in the image of God, and they believe that we are made in the image of God. But if you ask him, what is the image of God, he won't be able to tell you what it is. And so we can say, oh, I believe 1, 2, and 3. And then you can ask me and I'll be like, well, so this show is all about we explained that, and we just share with you everything from A to Z, essentially.
Yeah, we're super excited about this. We hope you guys can join us for the future episodes, and we're excited to see people and to outreach to people and to just talk with people. We love having just common civil conversations with people. It's just interesting conversations that we thrive for. That's the only thing. We want interesting people to talk to. We want interesting opinions. We just want people to talk.
Exactly. And so
Exactly.
Exactly. But yeah, stay tuned, because the next episode we'll have a guest on it. It's a very special guest. I don't want to reveal too much.
Incredible story.
It's really exciting. We're both extremely excited. And honestly, we could just say this right now already. We have had to go through so much to get this episode even done.
Yeah, totally.
The amount of spiritual warfare that we have gone through is insane. From gear not working to time not working to having to go to work to it's just all over to lock in our keys in our cars.
Yeah, we were about to go come shoot this episode 2 hours ago, and then I locked my keys in my truck, and there we go. And that was another hour dilemma that we had to face. It's just simple little delays that add up over and over and over again. And then the locksmith that was supposed to come, he got taken to another call, so then we got delayed again, and then somebody else came, and it was it's so much stuff can add up. These little things, just spiritual warfare. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we can make a whole episode, and we probably will, about just the things that we had to go through to get this episode done.
It's crazy.
But I just want to let you know that we are committed to this. No matter what we face, we will go through it and get you the best quality that we can. We will get you the best stories that we can, and we will make this as entertaining as possible. So this episode might have been a little repetitive, a little boring, but trust me, the next ones are going to be very, very exciting.
Yes, for sure.
All right.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, just make sure you guys, look for the next episode, because it's coming soon, and it will be cool. It will be interesting. So thank you.
Thank you. Have a great one.